What's up, YouTube? My name is Batman, and this is level 4 on Halo 4. This is Infinity on Legendary. You are fighting in the jungles of the Didax Bush, or something along those lines. And you'll notice this video is a little sped up. I did not fast forward, or yeah, it is fast forward, I guess that's what you call it. Fast forwarded a little bit, because it is a particularly long level, because at the end there's a sequence where you're in a tank, and then you're in a mech, or a mantis is what it's called. And those sequences are sort of long, and I wanted to make it one video. I'm not a big fan of splitting it into two parts. I think that gets kind of confusing, and yada yada yada. But it turned out okay because it is a long level, and so speeding through it isn't gonna take away from the entertainment value, I guess you could say. And I did cut out all the parts where you're sort of just walking from fight to fight. It has all the fights are in this video, but there are a lot of areas where you're just kind of walking from one fight to the next fight, and you'll see I cut those out. And it's also good that it's fast forwarded because, again, I'm not an expert player. This is a guide for noobs by noobs, and so sometimes it takes me a little longer to get through these firefights than it would some expert. And so it's good to have it just sort of fast forwarded, I suppose you could say. Now up here, this is going to be the first hard fight of the level. If you've gotten this far in the game, you shouldn't have trouble with the first two fights, which is just dogs and knights. But at this first fight, you will run into those sniper dogs that you saw I had to snipe. Hopefully you can grab a binary rifle off of the first sniper that you kill, but those snipers are like sniper jackals in previous Halos, except they're a lot harder to kill because they're smaller targets, they move a lot, and they're jumping around up on the trees. You know what I'm saying? And so, be careful about that. Make sure you have a sniper rifle and sort of edge towards the edge of that sniper battle and take them out one at a time, and you should be okay. And other than that, you're going to be fighting a lot of dogs. You see I'm kind of wasting some sniper ammo on the dogs here. Try not to do that. When you do get to this part in the level, try and get in this upper ground, or, don't try. You should be able to get into this upper ground. It's not very hard. I fail at it because I'm a moron, but anytime you can get the upper ground in a fight, get the upper ground. It's never a bad idea. And what this also allows you to do is, on top of being able to shoot down at the enemy, you can kind of just skip this entire fight, or at least the first half of this fight, running around the trees like freaking Chewbacca. Get through this. You get this upper ground. It's really easy to snipe down. They're going to have a hard time shooting you. You're out of range of most of these little dogs, which is going to be really helpful. Those dogs aren't that dangerous until they get you in a pack, and then they can take you down pretty quick, or if they get up close to you and they have a pretty strong melee attack. And so if you're up in these trees, you should be okay. You move through these trees, the dogs can't hurt you. The only thing that really can hurt you is that knight. And again, whenever you're fighting these knights, make sure you hit those the little flying balls around them first, because those little balls will provide them shields and it'll revive them. And when you've taken out those little balls, shoot them in the face. They have a little face shield, and then shoot them in the head, and they will die very quickly. Now, if you see a knight who has a weapon that you might want, like if you run into a knight that's using like a rocket launcher, or even if you're fighting one of those dogs and you see a sniper rifle that you want to get off one of those dead dogs, make sure you get over there pretty quick, because you see when you kill them, they incinerate. A lot of the times, what'll happen is they'll leave, like the weapon they were carrying will incinerate too if you don't pick it up quick enough. Like if you just leave the weapon there on their dead body, it'll incinerate. And that's fine unless it's a good weapon that you want. And so if you ever see a knight with a rocket launcher or a sniper rifle or a scattergun, which are also very valuable, probably the best weapon to use against knights, make sure you grab one of those before not too long, because you really don't want to end up in a situation where the gun incinerates and then you miss out on a really good weapon. And again, right here, you see that whole time we just kind of kept the high ground. We were up in the trees, and it works out pretty easy. Not even that difficult, as long as you stay up high. Right here, there's going to be a shotgun and a sniper rifle on the ground, but don't bother with the sniper rifle. Grab that shotgun. You don't need the sniper rifle because over the course of this level, you should be able to keep replenishing your beam rifle weapon. I can't even remember what it's called, the alien sniper. You should be able to replenish that ammo pretty regularly. You're gonna hold on to a shotgun and then like a DMR or something, because you're always gonna want to make sure you have like an easy semi-automatic precision weapon that you can take out the dogs with. because if you're sitting there with a sniper and a shotgun or two snipers, you're going to end up having to waste ammo on the dogs, or you're just going to end up trying to save your ammo, and by doing that, you know, you're skipping fighting the dogs, and that can be problematic because sometimes you get yourself killed. Right here, wait till they all get into this nice little choke point, drop a grenade. Very helpful. Very good way to take out enemies. Anytime you get one of those choke points, kind of try and draw the guys in and then drop a nade. And again, you see right there, that's why I picked up the shotgun. The shotgun is really good against these knights, whereas you know, DMR or beam rifle or the alien energy rifle, whatever you want to call it, all those weapons are going to take a particularly long time to get the kill on the knight. But with a shotgun, it's like 1 or 2 pumps and they're done. And so that's always very helpful. Now, in every fight you get into, be patient. Patience is a virtue in Legendary Halo. Always. In fact, probably in most games, when you're on the highest difficulty, you're going to find out that patience really is a virtue. You know, don't go rushing up ahead. Kind of take your time. And one of the beautiful things about fighting AI is that a lot of the time you'll be able to shoot them from a distance where they aren't able to shoot you, you know, simply because, you know, there's like a max distance that certain AI will acknowledge you even exists, whereas you, if you can see it, you can probably shoot it. And so try to hang back. When you get to this part, run up the side like I did and take out those 2 giant, I don't know what you call them, Spartan laser turrets. You know, those floating balls. Those are the most dangerous things on this map, and if you get caught up trying to fight the other enemies while those things are powering Spartan lasers in your direction, it's not going to go down well. Just sprint up the side, take those out as quickly as possible, and the rest will kind of fall in place. And another thing to keep in mind is if you push hard, the Marines will push hard behind you, and, you know, sort of do a lot of your work for you. Like, if you're hanging back, the Marines are going to hang back, which means they're not going to be doing much damage to the enemies. But if you push up, the Marines will also get aggressive and push up, and then they'll be forced to really fight those aliens. Whereas before, you know, they might pop off a few shots, but they won't really hit those shots, or maybe they won't even, you know, if they do, it'll be 1 burst of assault rifle, and then they'll jump behind cover, which is basically a useless Marine. You know, that's not very helpful. Right here, you know, you're gonna just have to defend, sort of like Bunker Hill, hold these enemies off, and it's not very hard. As long as you both get on those turrets, you're basically gonna be unstoppable. Now, this is the last hard part of this mission, I would say, is when you get to this final area right here, right before this pelican picks you up. Make sure you hang out here to the side, again, see high ground. Get into this spot right here, be patient, and just kind of take them off one at a time. That's what you'll kind of see me do here. I ran into a problem because my teammate Liam decided he had to go, you know, I don't know, eat breakfast. So I was on my own right here, kind of pick off these enemies one at a time. Take your time, again, be patient, but stay in this little area right over here. You don't want to go, this is where you'll have the most cover, and the enemies won't come charging you here, whereas anywhere else they will charge you. And you'll see here in a second, I'll go down in this cave and try and get a shot off on them, and they'll even charge you in that cave, and they'll throw grenades in that cave, and that can be problematic also. They are very deadly. If you get too close, you will die pretty quick. You know, they have a ton of grunts on top of dogs, on top of like 5 knights, and that's problematic. You're not going to win that fight head on. You want to do guerrilla warfare tactics, just kind of hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. You know what I'm saying? I pick up the railgun, but I learn over the course of using the railgun that it's not that useful here. It would be if it was a one-shot kill, but what the railgun does is, you know, even fully charged, it's only going to take down a knight's shields, and then the knight will either, you know, teleport and run away, or by the time you switch to your other weapon, his shields will recharge. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but keep in mind, the knight shields are, you know, they're known for recharging super quick, and especially on Legendary. And so don't use the railgun, because not only is it hard to aim, you know, especially when you have to charge it while the enemy is moving around, you kind of have to, you know, keep it aimed on them. You know, depending on what your sensitivity is, that's going to be even harder. Just, yeah, you know, skip the railgun is the point I'm trying to make. Unless you're getting into maybe some up close fights if they are rushing you, but if you're doing what I suggest here, you shouldn't have to worry about that. Once you've taken out all the dogs and grunts, and there's just knights, you can usually rush those knights with a shotgun and take them out quicker than they can take out you. That's what's so great about shotguns, is they do kill knights faster than knights kill you. Now, you're going to reach this part where you're in the tank, and from this point on, it's going to be, you know, pretty easy. It's not going to be too difficult once you're in the tank, because after the tank, you'll just be in a mantis. As long as you know to, again, keep your distance and be patient with your vehicles, you should be fine for the rest of the level. Just pay attention to here, to where the enemies are. You don't have to worry so much about ghosts, because if you have, you know, you're going to get a whole squad of Marines, and if you get all these Marines onto your ghost, I'm sorry, not onto your ghost. If you get all these Marines sitting on your tank, they'll kill anything that comes close to you, including grunts, including ghosts. There is going to be, every single one of those towers is going to have a grunt with a fuel rod cannon, and those things will kill you almost instantly. So make sure you go ahead and snipe those towers from a distance. And again, that goes back to being able to shoot enemies in areas where they don't even acknowledge that you exist. And then you won't even have to worry about it. But if you do try and take out one of those towers up close, you'll get fuel rotted, and 9 times out of 10 you will die before you can kill that tower. Other than that, what is it? Oh yeah, the wraiths are obviously a problem, but the cool thing about, you know, fighting a wraith with a scorpion is their shots take so much time to hit you, and your shots are basically instantaneous. Now, this next part, these hunters are a problem. I would suggest just doing what I did here and pushing up ahead. I know that doesn't sound like the right idea in theory, but if you charge up ahead, they can't charge their shot and aim at the same time. So if you're moving really quickly, they're just going to kind of be pivoting around towards you, and they're going to miss their shots, or they're not even going to bother firing up a shot. And in that time, you can take, you can take a shot at them with the scorpion, and you can take both of them out pretty quick. And you know, they're going to be surrounded by grunts and elites and stuff. But if you have, again, all those guys on your tank, you know, if you have a gunner and then you have 4 guys sitting on each of your treads, you're going to kill. They're going to kill all the other infantry, and all you have to worry about is the hunter. So when you reach that hunter part, that's really like the last hurrah. Take out the hunters, you know, charge forward, take out the hunters hella quick, the rest will fall in place. In the mantis, not going to be very difficult. Again, you know, once you get in these vehicles, the mission, I think, is essentially over. It's a very simple procedure. But do remember, when you're walking under bridges, destroy the bridge before you walk under it, because what will happen a lot of the time is, you know, you'll clear out an area, you'll walk under a bridge, and then like a grunt with a fuel rod cannon will come running out on the bridge behind you, and that can mess you up pretty bad. But if you destroy the bridge every time, the grunts won't even appear. Once you're out here in the mantis, you know, take out these targets, and then they're going to bring in waves of reinforcements with you with banshees and phantoms. If you have partners, you can kill these phantoms generally before they land. If you don't, you can still generally kill them before they land. If they do somehow manage to deploy their forces that are in the phantom, I mean, you're sitting there with a mantis. It's once you get past those, once you get into the tank, this level is fairly easy to beat. Anyways, I won't show you the ending cutscene. I don't want to spoil anything. But you know, you are going to fire that giant cannon right there. Anyways, this is Batman, signing out.